Silva Mind Control Method, Chapter 6, Accelerated Learning. When you assimilate the memory techniques that we presented in the previous chapter, you will be very close to our next step. Accelerated learning. Here is, briefly, the process you will follow. You will learn to enter the meditative level. Then, at that level, to create a mental screen, which is useful for different purposes, one of which is remembering information. Later, when there is a rush, you can use the 3-finger technique to achieve, among other things, instant recall. Once you have accomplished this, you will be ready to learn new ways of acquiring information, which will make remembering even easier. Likewise, something important is that these new ways of learning will not only facilitate remembering, but will accelerate and intensify your understanding of what you learn. There are 2 techniques for learning. Let's start with the simplest, although not necessarily the easiest. The 3-finger technique can be used while you are listening to a lecturer or reading a book. Once you have mastered it to such a degree that you can instantly enter the level and consciously operate on it. This will greatly improve your concentration, and the information will take root more firmly. Later, you will be able to remember it more easily at the beta level, and even more easily at the alpha level. A student who takes a test with his 3 fingers together can almost see the textbook he read, and can practically hear the instructor as he explains the lesson in class. The other technique is not as simple, but you will be prepared for it in the early stages of your mind control practice. It has all the power of learning at the alpha level, plus the added help of learning at the beta level. For this, you will need a tape recorder. Let's say you have to learn a complex chapter from a textbook. You need to not only remember it, but understand it. During the first step, do not go to the alpha level, but remain at the external beta level of consciousness. Read the chapter aloud and record it. Now, level up, play the recording, and concentrate listening to your own voice, reciting the material. In one of the early stages of your mind control, particularly if you are not very familiar with the recorder you are using, you may suddenly revert to beta when you press the play button, and find that the sound of the voice will make it more difficult to you enter alpha again. And by the time you manage to return, you will have missed part of the lesson, or the entire lesson. With practice, this will be less likely to happen. Here are a few tips. Level with your finger placed on the start button to avoid searching with your eyes open. Have another person press the button for you when you give them the signal. Employ the 3-finger technique to accelerate your re-entry to alpha level. The problem may seem more serious than it is. In fact, this may actually be an indication of your progress. As you become more expert, the same alpha level will begin to feel different to you. You will feel more and more like you are in beta, by virtue of learning to use it consciously. Being fully awake with full mental efficiency while at the alpha level constitutes a special characteristic of mind control. As you progress and re-experience the previous feeling of being at the alpha level, you are actually entering a deeper level, which may be theta. In mind control classes, I have often seen graduates operating effectively at a deep level with their eyes open, as awake as you are right now, and speaking clearly, asking and answering questions, and cracking jokes. Let's go back to your recording. To reaffirm what you've learned, let some time pass, several days if possible. Then reread the material at the beta level and listen to yourself at the alpha level. Now, the information will be yours definitively. If you are working with other people in learning mind control with this book, you can exchange tapes with them in a sort of division of labor to save time. This works perfectly, although there is an advantage to hearing your own voice. Accelerated. Learning and the three-finger technique have proven to be valuable time savers for mind control graduates in a variety of fields. Sales, especially insurance, academics, teaching, law, and acting, to name just a few. A prosperous Canadian life insurance agent no longer exasperates his clients by tediously flipping through papers in his briefcase to find answers to questions about complex tax problems. The huge set of data you need is at the tip of your tongue, thanks to accelerated learning and your three fingers. A Detroit trial lawyer has become free from notes when summarizing a complex case for the jury. You record your recap and listen to it at alpha level the night before, then listen to it again early in the morning. Later, when he confidently presents himself before the members of the jury, he maintains eye contact without breaking communication with them. The result is that he speaks more persuasively than if he were consulting notes, and no one notices what he does with the three fingers of his left hand. A comedian at a New York nightclub changes his daily routine in which he makes comments about the news. An hour before the show, he listens to a tape of himself and comes out prepared for 20 minutes of hilarious, spontaneous comedy. I used to cross my fingers and hope that things would go well. Now I join three fingers and I know what is going to happen. I am going to cause a lot of laughter. Accelerated. Learning and the three-finger technique are, of course, ideal for students. And this is one reason why mind control has been taught in thousands of universities, high schools, and elementary schools. Thanks to these techniques, thousands of students study less and learn more. Watch more videos of the Silva Mind Control Method on our Planet Alibro channel.